Hey, business owners, welcome to the Futurize Your Business interview series. Now, before we get started talking to Maggie Zhou, I want you to subscribe to our channel because I have fabulous interviews coming for you, but also don't forget to press the like button once this interview is done. Look forward to having you as part of this journey. In this episode, I'm excited because I'm speaking to one of the very first employees of the Alibaba Group. She joined the Alibaba Group over 20 years ago, and she's part of the globalization strategy of the Alibaba Group and operates as the managing director for Australia and New Zealand. Big welcome, Maggie.
Thank you, Dinesh. Yeah, my honor to be here.
It is an absolute honor to have you, Maggie, because the audience doesn't quite know. They'd be delighted to know that you were one of the first few employees who joined the Alibaba Group within the first 2 years. You joined them in early 2000. I know the Alibaba Group was founded around 1999. So there is so much to discuss with you, and we are all looking forward to talking to you. And I have lots of questions. I hope that's okay, Maggie.
Of course. You're welcome.
Fantastic. Maggie, as the managing director of the Alibaba Group in the ANZ, how do you see small and medium-sized businesses navigating out of this global pandemic, especially in Australia? And what are your tips for us?
Without any doubt, 2020, I think it has posed challenges for business globally. During the initial lockdown in China earlier this year, we saw a number of businesses here encounter challenges in sourcing materials such as product packaging. And later, we also saw significant disruptions relating to air freight of export and imports between Australia and China, and due to the suspension of so many passenger flights between the two countries, which play a key role in moving air freight. So at one point, importing via air freight from China was about 10 times the rate pre-COVID. What we did see, however, was just how quickly businesses adapted to this new environment. For example, some of our local clients in Australia sourced domestically manufactured packaging materials. And many brands also quickly moved away from air freight-based exports to China and utilized Alibaba's bonded warehouse model to warehouse products in China. A company in Melbourne, Hungry Panda, who is the home delivery service provider who worked with Alipay and local team, provided contactless takeaway service when people were locked down at home during COVID. And they offer the essential services, but also supported the local restaurants for their survival. And Tuanyuan is a startup online supermarket in Sydney, and started their app just as COVID hit. And after enabling their app to accept Alipay, we put up a pre-sale coupon and Alipay, which is our end group's business. So that lets Alipay users claim a dozen eggs for just 1 RMB from Tuanyuan. And we had a limit of 100 a day, and it kept selling out every afternoon. And after 3 weeks, we sold over 2,000 coupons, and their Alipay business doubled. And Alibaba Cloud has been working with numerous universities as a service provider to provide remote learning solutions to ensure international students in China can continue their studies through COVID and the border restrictions. So the speed of how quickly so many businesses were able to adapt surprised all of us. So really resilient, be nimble, and agile during COVID, I think is really very important, and also is a lesson we can learn, and just it's really good for the SMEs.
Fantastic. Some really wise words there towards the end as well, and some fabulous examples there, Maggie. Thank you for that. Now, one of the biggest things businesses ask us and will want to know who are listening to this interview is Alibaba Group is known as a global leader, as a global innovator who has conquered markets and taken Chinese businesses across the world very successfully. Now, if Aussie businesses similarly wanted to explore the opportunities in the Chinese market, what advice do you have for them and how can the Alibaba Group help us?
Alibaba actually started in 1999 and with a very simple mission to make it easy to do business anywhere. And as SMEs, that's always been a core part of our DNA because we actually also started from a SME, a startup company with 18 founders, right, in Jack Ma's own apartment, right? So we opened our office in Australia in 2017, which launched by our former chairman Jack Ma, to bring this mission to Australian businesses.
Yes.
And for Alibaba, we see Australia as an important market for visitors, high quality products for export, and also a strong startup sector. And today, we actually have more than 2,000 Australian brands selling from through our Tmall and the Tmall Global platform, and tens of thousands of retailers and tourism businesses accepting Alipay, and a growing number of businesses utilizing our cloud computing power with Alibaba Cloud. And China definitely will be a very important market if you want to go to the international market. You know, China today is shifting from made in China to consuming China.
That's correct.
And you know the big population, and today there are more than 400 million middle class people, and also other growth also from the third tier and the fourth tier cities also contribute 70% of the growth.
Yes.
So this is really a huge demand from the consumer side in China. And also, you know, this year COVID, people, the COVID started from China. Many people actually concerned about what happened after COVID in China. Is it the market is already recovered? But definitely, yes. I think, you know, and during COVID, and even the growth is much bigger, and the people venturing less, just venturing less outdoor and staying at home. So shopping online, entertainment online, and working online, and it's a communication, it's all online. That's really helped a lot of business step into that market, right? So that this market, China, is definitely still will be a very important market you cannot ignore if you step into the international market. China is a great market, but I also want to think about what other markets we can step into. I think Southeast Asia will also be another huge market in which Alibaba can also help you to step into. We acquired the largest e-commerce platform in South Asia, called Lazada. Yeah, so also a lot of Australian and New Zealand business. Now they started the partnership with Alibaba in China market, and then when they build up the first step in China market and also want to expand to further to other markets, they're also working with us in the South Asia market as well. But if you said, I'm not so, you know, just don't have any expert in my own team, and B2C is really hard for me. I just want to do maybe wholesale business with other distributors in all the countries. Definitely Alibaba.com will help you. And Alibaba.com was the first business when Alibaba started from 1999. It is a wholesale marketplace. Yes. And actually we started to help the SMEs to help them to selling the products to all of the world and with low entry. Yes. So retailers, if here in Australia, you want to sell into all of the world, Alibaba.com will help you.
Fantastic. Some great advice there, business owners. I hope you will listen to that answer again, because Maggie just shares with us not only how to get to China and work in China, but also how to go into the Southeast Asian market. She also shares with us how to go wholesale. Maggie also tells us how we can get into the wholesale market. Maggie, would you mind if I ask you to tell our audience a bit more about Tmall and a bit more about Alipay so that our audience has a bit more information and how they can access these platforms?
Actually, Alibaba today is Alibaba economy with a lot of businesses, right? We started in 1999. We started from Alibaba.com. It's a one business, wholesale business, and later step into C2C Taobao, B2C Tmall, and cross-border B2C Tmall Global, right? And then also we have the payment Alipay, and also logistics, Cainiao logistics company, and also cloud computing. The whole Alibaba economy actually is one family with many businesses. Maybe you can see is very familiar, like Amazon, eBay, YouTube, and Zomato, PayPal, right? AWS, right? But they are actually the independent company. But in Alibaba, the whole family, all the business combined together. It's a chemistry. A 1 + 1 is bigger than 3. Right? So many
Absolutely.
Australian businesses, they started to working with us from one point.
Yes.
And then you can just expand further, capture other opportunities, right? So you can find one option always fit for you, right? So today in Alibaba platforms in the Australian market, 2,000 Australian brands step into China market using Tmall Global and the Tmall. So that's actually you open the store on Tmall Global, or maybe you find a partner to help you to open the store on this platform, right? So like a chemical house today already is the largest international merchants on our platform around all the markets, and not just only from Australia, actually from around the world. They are the largest merchant, right? And also they actually now is working with Alipay. They started from Tmall Global, and now they expand the business actually here, access and Chinese visitors or even the migrants here using Alipay, enabled Alipay in their POS machine. And very interesting, this what I mentioned, the chemistry happen is like O to O to O model, right? Online to offline to online, right? So, they have the Tmall Global Store. They
Yes.
have Alipay in their pharmacy. So when a traveler visit an Australian,
yes.
we know, and we actually started from our Fliggy platform. We understand a traveler will book a ticket in Melbourne.
Right.
And now they will come. Actually, we'll push those marketing message even when they still in China.
Right.
And then they will know which store actually they are enabled by Alipay, and they can purchase here, use Alipay, which is the payment method they are very familiar and get used in China market every day, right?
Yes.
So they collect the coupon. The coupon should not be very big. It's very good for SME. You can only for maybe $5. Chemistry has used that, the $5 coupon you collect, and you can redeem in the pharmacy. So that is already from the online to offline, right?
Fantastic.
So when the transaction happened, completed, and then this coupon, the transaction can give you another coupon. That coupon is the Chemistry House Tmall Global Stores coupon. So when they go back to China, and then they found something actually they buying in Chemistry House pharmacy, they used very well. The customer experience about the product is really good. I want to buy again, but I'm already now in China now. What should I do? I can go to Chemistry House Tmall Global Store to buy another purchase, right? So this is something we can combine together. And today, actually in Australia, New Zealand, also, if you don't know how to do, also some of the third-party partner, they can help those retailers, some SMEs, to help them how to work with Alipay to access travelers and also Chinese residents living here.
Fantastic. That's fabulous. Again, to all the business owners who are watching this to really go through it and try to unpack what Maggie just shared with us. Maggie, if I was an owner of a winery and I'm producing wine or cheese, for instance, and I want to use your Tmall platform, what is the best advice you can give me?
It depends. If you have an expert in your team and you can work with our platform directly, but if you don't have, you have to find a suitable partner to help you. And also you need to understand what about your brand awareness in China market. If you go to China market, some people say, I'm already very famous in Australia. If I can open the store on Tmall, my answer is that it's not actually exactly you can go, right? Have you already ready for that market?
Right.
We need to incubate the brand awareness first, right? So somehow when you just also incubate the brand awareness in Australian market for the Chinese residents living here, also very important, right? When Chinese living in China, they buy something from Australian, sometimes they will, very interesting. They will ask their relative living here, or maybe students here, do you know the brand? Is it the brand Australian, Aussie people also using that? Yes. Right. So this brand awareness in the local Chinese community is also very important. So actually this year, unfortunately, we could not do that. But in the past several years, we run a local Alibaba e-commerce expo, and later on it's called Alibaba Ecosystem Expo, right? It's working with the local retailers, connecting them to the Chinese residents to help them to incubate the brand awareness.
Right.
That's what we are.
Fantastic. So again, next time you're doing that, we'll have to interview you to get more details and get it out to our customers as well, and the Futurize Your Business community. You shared that story of Chemist Warehouse, and it was a really excellent story, and how they are one of the largest, and they are the largest on your platform. Other small to medium business success stories you can share with us?
Supporting and working with SMEs have always been at the core of Alibaba business. And today thousands of Australian brands have grown their business on our platform, many of which are SMEs. And Alipay is also working with micro and small retailers who are utilizing Alipay as a payment method, and the power of Alipay super app to connect with Chinese visitors and migrants in ways that were previously not possible, right? And for Alibaba Cloud, we have seen some wonderful success stories from startups utilizing the power of our cloud computing service. So cloud computing, Alibaba Cloud, now is the number one in China and Asia, number 3 in the world, right? So this includes working with Australian fintech startups, air wallets, a mapping startup, Soul, travel booking company, Cozy Trip, and retail and data analytics startup, Unicart. Right, these all are startup companies and working with Alibaba Cloud.
Fantastic.
I understand actually Australian, a lot of innovation tech actually is quite good in this market, but market is really small. So a lot of technology you need to test in the market, and China will be a very good one. So cloud also helping a lot of SMEs using our capability and also help you to go China. So we have the solution, Go China, and can help you to capture so many people in China. Yeah, that's really a big market for here, the many of the SME if you go to China market. So the Alibaba Entrepreneur Fund, each year, Alibaba runs the Jump Starter startup competition. And then last year, very good news. Last year, we were delighted to see Australian startup, the Block Ledger, take away one of the winning spots with fierce competition from 40 startups from around the world. Yeah, it's really nice,
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing those examples of startups and some of the smaller businesses. And that's, I'm sure, very inspiring because, when people think of the Alibaba group and they think of, Chemist Warehouse succeeding, they are big businesses. I know for a fact, Jack Ma always says, I think he says, small is beautiful and small is powerful. Is that what he says?
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
small is beautiful, small is powerful. Yeah,
And
because you are small, you actually you dare to fail, right? It's easy and nimble for you to adjust. Yeah, so it's really shows that small is beautiful, small is powerful.
fantastic. Thank you for that. I have this book of all these fabulous quotes by Jack Ma. As I told you before the interview, I'm a big
Started from
admirer
small.
of Jack Ma and the Alibaba Group, and that's why I was so excited to speak with you. I want to pick your brain again at another time, because there's so much our startups, our small businesses can learn from the Alibaba experience, and let's do that another time. But today, I have a couple more questions for you before you go. And then my next question for you is, majority of businesses struggle during this pandemic, but I know of experiences, different business owners tell me how there are businesses from nearly every industry who have also succeeded during this pandemic. You touched on a few of them earlier. Can you give me a couple other examples, please?
For all businesses globally, one of the key success factors on how adaptable businesses were to the new environment, right? Here, we work with 2,000 Australian brands, helping them export to China market. And we also have seen the resilience of businesses as they adapted their supply chains and look at how to digitize their businesses and embrace the new ways to engage consumers. So if anything, the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the digitalization of business models for so many retailers and exporters, right? So innovation and the new digital infrastructure technology born over the COVID-19 period will be long-lasting and game-changing. And recently, Jack Ma and also said, in a world full of uncertainty, the only certainty is digitalization. And it is really, digitalization will be the future trend. You have already seen that in Australia, after COVID, all the business who pivot their business to online, they still survive and even survive better than before, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is really, if you make yourself digital, you can make yourself be resilient when those crises comes, right?
Absolutely. And fantastic words. Not only you're resilient, as you say, and you become crisis proof. Would you mind repeating those words of Jack Ma again, please?
Jack Ma mentioned that in the world of uncertainty, the only certainty is digitalization.
That's amazing. That's amazing foresight. I have heard Jack Ma saying whenever there was, whenever the Alibaba group had massive challenges, he would always inspire the teams with the opportunity he saw during those times. And that's a real mark of a leader. But I've also heard you talking about when the Alibaba group had the IPO in the Hong Kong exchange, and when people were trying to be a bit comfortable because all the hard work is paying off, he addressed the teams and said, this is one of the biggest challenges that
Yeah. Yeah, Dennis, Shara, I'm very impressed. You have read a lot about Alibaba. I think that is really, a very good lesson also for SMEs, right? So when you have some success achieved, many people will cheer up and forget to fighting again. And maybe someone just feel, I can relax and enjoy life, right? So when you mentioned that we had an IPO in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, the first IPO in Alibaba, and at that time is already, I think it's
2008?
2007. So Alibaba, 8 years, right? Jack actually mentioned Alibaba will IPO one day at the early stage. Many people have the expectation, but haven't waited till IPO. So once IPO, the many people feel, I'm just so free, right? Jack actually sent an email to everyone, said it is the biggest crisis for Alibaba. People will say it's already a success. Jack mentioned it is the greatest crisis for Alibaba. So IPO is like a It's a fuel stop, yeah, for you to energize and you can fight again, right? So this is interesting. I think it's also you always think in a different way. And 2008, the second year, that is a financial crisis, global financial crisis, right? So everyone actually was upset, and the small medium-sized company also suffered. Yes. And Jack actually sent another email to all the staff. He said it is the unprecedented opportunity for Alibaba to take the responsibility to help the SMEs. What's our mission? Our mission to make easy to do business anywhere. Now is the time all the SMEs suffered. And we actually have the platform, we have the infrastructure, we have the technology. It's really good opportunity for us to take responsibility to help the SMEs, right? So all the Alibaba staff are energized and work together to support our SMEs. That actually make me really thinking something is really very important. How make you different with other company, and how can you keep positive all the way and also think in a different way. And I like Jack's quote best, which is the quote I love best. I think it's very good for SME as well. This quote actually Jack said at the early stage of Alibaba in the internet bubble, Alibaba, that internet winter, right? And Jack mentioned, and he said, today is difficult. Tomorrow is much difficult, but the day after tomorrow is beautiful. Most people die tomorrow evening. Only the real hero can see the sunshine of the day after tomorrow. I think this quotation he said at the early 2002, I think.
Yes,
but
yes.
Hey,
it's just after the IT bust, he said that, right?
Yeah, but
the
this
global
I
IT
think
bust in
still apply
2000
for all the occasion.
yes,
When
2001, yeah.
SME is fighting for the future, is really if you can be the real hero to see the sunshine of the day after tomorrow, right? So very important. Keep resilient, keep nimble, agile, right? To make you survive, more innovation, and you really can be that real hero.
Fantastic, Maggie. Really, I'm so thankful for you to share those quotes with us because they're so valuable, especially during these times when we are going through this pandemic, because today looks difficult, tomorrow looks even more difficult. But if we are resilient, day after tomorrow is going to be very different. I don't know whether I shared with you when NetStripes, we're a startup. We started in 2014, and our vision was to help 1 million small and medium enterprises to transition from their traditional business models to digitally successful businesses. And we knew these businesses, when they're transformed through digital and innovation, they not only succeed for themselves, but they create jobs. Right? Is there a better time than now to create millions of jobs across the world? And small and medium enterprises have the power of doing that. And that's what drives us. And that's what drives my NetStripes team. So what you say is so true. And that's why we are big fans of Jack Ma. And
we're all helping SMEs.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what drives me. And all these interviews we are doing, if you watch our YouTube channel, they're all about small business. How can we help small businesses with transforming to digitally successful businesses? So again, your presence here is a big help towards that. And it's
Thank you so much.
Yes. I have a couple more questions. Is that okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Look, I know I'm going to let you go very soon, but before you go, what are the future trends that SME businesses must keep an eye on, right? Because I know the Alibaba group will be planning, I know you guys plan 102 years ahead, right? You want to build a business that transcends 3 centuries, and that's how you plan. What are the future trends as business owners that small and medium enterprises must keep an eye on?
Again, I think digitalization is a future trend. So for SMEs, go digital first is so important, right? And that way you can be resilient when crisis comes, right? And you can do business anywhere, anytime. And today in China, we can see the phenomenon about the emergence and a rapid growth of social commerce, right? So one surprising factor through the COVID-19 pandemic in China was the explosive growth of live streaming as a means of brand engaging their audience. KOLs, online influencers, increasingly work with brands to market products online via their Taobao live shop front. So in February this year alone, we saw sales via live streams increase by over 100%, right? A few years ago, Jack Ma actually predicted in the future, 5 new will change the world in the next 3 decades. So those 5 news: new retail, new manufacturing, new finance, new technology, and new energy. We started from new retail, but people don't know about what is new retail exactly. So we built up a showcase that is a Hema Freshable, a supermarket, fresh supermarket. We started that showcase telling the traditional business. Now, this is the new retail. And what is new retail? Online, offline, combined together. And the core of that is a service. Is customer experience. If you can raise the customer experience, you can raise the efficiency and raise the competitiveness, right? So in Hema Fresh today, more than 60% of the people shopping through Hema Fresh app and allow the products deliver from the store to your door within 30 minutes. The Hema Fresh actually serve the people living in 3 kilometers radius, right? 40% of the user, they still happy to go to Hema Fresh offline store, maybe with their family member at weekend, and allow Australian lobster be cooked in the store and you can dine in the store. But next time, if you feel, I just don't want to go out, I just want to buy it and staying at home, you can use the app to order. But you can understand when you just visit the store, you can find if you buying someone buying at home, the products picked from the inventory and then go to the chain, to the back office, and they pack it and to have the courier man to deliver. But that is really data-wise the operation. So how can we complete that, the delivery within 30 minutes? And those courier men, each time one route, need to deliver for 3 orders. And which 3 orders can be combined together will be more efficient. That's the data algorithm, help them to do that.
Fantastic.
Right. So this is a new retail. And the second thing is a new manufacturer. We also just recently launched this new manufacturer. Now, what is new manufacturer? That is, C2B model. That is also very interesting concept. People last century, actually the business model is all B2C. What's the B2C mean? Means the retail, the business, you manufacture the products and then you supply to the market. And then, maybe people don't like that. And you can have the inventory hoarding, right? That's the traditional situation. And the future should be the C2B model from consumer end and the manufacturer to customize the products, right? So this model is shifting from big scale to small scale, from the standardized manufacturer to customized manufacturer. But they all is the data wise, and you understand consumer behavior, consumer preference, and then you can have the better manufacturing. So that's also the future for that. But I understand for new retail and China, actually e-commerce, go digital, all went in advance than maybe other markets, right? But for the SME here, maybe if we talk about new retail, maybe too early, but go digital first is quite important. And when you gather some kind of the intelligence for the consumer end, and then later on you combine all your operation and the inventory all digitalized, and then you can understand how to do that. Maybe for your offline store, you just for the customer experience, and then all the products is in the centralized warehouse, and you can deliver when someone order online, and you can deliver your product from your centralized warehouse to their home. That is also the beauty for the digitalization for SMEs in the future.
Thank you, Maggie. Some really unbelievable advice there, some really great guidance and some ideas for us to consider. And as you correctly said, all this is driven by data, by consumer insights. And Jack Ma, I know, talks about a world where the powerhouses are the people with the most amount of data and know how to use it in the future.
I want to clarify data. People will concerned about the data privacy, right? So data itself should not be shared, but data intelligence behind it should be shared by the business to better engage with their consumer. That's the data means, for the SMEs.
That's correct. And I think governments of the world are also realizing it's the big data, the use of the big data can deliver massive intelligence as opposed to, and while we retain privacy of individuals. And that, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate that. There's so much I have to ask you, but I'm going to let you go. Otherwise you'll be here forever, Maggie. But I can't let you go without our audience getting to know a little bit about yourself and you personally. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, simple questions, quick answers. All right. So Are you ready?
Okay. Don't frighten me.
What's your favorite city and why?
The favorite city in China is Hangzhou. That's my hometown. Always beautiful. I love that. And in Australia, it's Melbourne. That's why I live in Melbourne.
Fantastic. I'm a Sydney sider. I'm not very happy with you, but I love Melbourne myself.
Welcome to Melbourne.
We'll come and see you in Melbourne sometime, certainly. Best movie?
Best movie? Sleeplessness in Seattle.
There you go. I know you're a movie buff, so that's great. The most memorable moment?
I think the most memorable moment should be the moment I joined Alibaba. So
is that right?
So memorable. Jack invited me to join Alibaba. I think it's really, I made the right choice.
Fantastic. And as you started, were you working as his executive assistant or what was your role then?
When I started in Alibaba, actually I started from BD, from scratch. Jack just reminded me, if you join Alibaba, you need to forget all your past experience. And now you are the leader with the team report to you, but when you join Alibaba, you need to report to anyone. Right. So just started from scratch. And if you're happy, you join. Right. So I started working as a BD. And then second year, when Alibaba had the business model with the charge the service, actually it's for the membership for Alibaba.com. And I became the sales. And luckily, I became the top sales in Alibaba industry. And after I got the top sales that year, HR actually asked me if you are happy to be the executive assistant to Jack Ma, because Jack as now is much busier. I didn't think why not, and I joined, and I be his EA. It's really also my honor, and also learn a lot. Just not the business, but also from a leader side, how can you just look at all the things, really learn a lot. And then I joined the founder team in Taobao, only 9 people, and went to Jack Ma's former apartment, which launched Alibaba.com.
Wow.
Each of the big new projects all launched in that apartment, still there.
Wow.
And then...
Is that apartment still there?
Still there.
It's like the HP garage in Silicon Valley.
It's like the incubation.
Yes.
incubation apartment. All the
Wow.
new business actually launched there. Many BU I was in, and also to Tmall World Top and Tmall Global. And then I was appointed to this market from 2016.
Fantastic. What are the 3 best pieces of advice you can give entrepreneurs?
Entrepreneur, I think be resilient, keep positive, keep innovative.
Fantastic, fabulous, wise words there, Maggie. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for being so generous in the way you shared your thoughts with our audience. Small and medium businesses are always looking to innovate, and they're a resilient bunch. And you also said we have to stay positive. Thank you so much for your time. We want to have you back. Are you going to join us again?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me, and I hope it's really helpful for everyone.
It has been absolutely helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dinesh. See you next time.